What's up, guys? All my athletes out there, I wanted to share something with you because unfortunately, we see it over and over again. I think there's a statistic out there that I saw the other day that said 78% of professional NBA players, NFL players, Major League Baseball players, 2 years, 2 to 3 years after they get out of the league and retire, they go through either financial difficulties and most of them file for bankruptcy. That's crazy. 78%, that's a crazy number. But why is that? Is because the most important thing you got to remember as an athlete is that you have to learn how to multiply your money. And now they got all these different programs where they try to show people. But be honest with you, if you've been playing your game, whatever that is, football, baseball, MMA, whatever the case, since you were like a kid, all you are really thinking about is taking care of your family. And when you finally get some money and everyone has their hands out, everyone has their hands in your pockets, whether it's your manager, your agent, the taxes for whatever state you live in, it takes and there's nothing left. And now you got to keep fighting. God forbid you get hurt. Your career's over. Your careers tend to last only about 5 years anyways, if you're good, depending on what sport you're in. But that said, if you think about it, if you're making $2 million a year, let's just run with me on this one. Let's say you're a ball player. You get a $2 million a year contract. Boom. That's that. 50% of that, $1 million, is going to go to taxes, period. And then if you have to pay your agents another 20%, right? That's 20% of that's going to be about 400K. You're already left with pretty much nothing. You're already down to $1 million right here. And then $400,000, you got about $600,000 left. Boom. If you buy a house at all, if you buy your mama a house, you want to pay off a car or something like that, you want to go shine, buy yourself a watch or something, dude, you're broke. You have no money left. And now you're back to hoping you go back and you don't get hurt. Because this is going to happen. Depending on what state you live in, if you're in California, you're in Hawaii, you're in New York, something like that, with one of these big places where you're getting $2 million a year, boom, all your money's gone. So there's a different way to play this game if you're going to actually do this, because this money, no matter what you're an employee of whatever league that you're a part of, right? So this is your earned income. This is your earned income, this money right here. So you have to treat your earned income a little differently if you're contracted. So the way that this game is played, you got to see yourself. You got to treat yourself like a business, because you are a business. If you're on a contract, you got to treat yourself like a business. So let's say that same contract, you make $2 million a year. This is what you're making. I mean, and Uncle Sam's going to get their money, but bear with me here, right? So, but right off the bat, pay your agents and your managers. You got your agents, you got your manager. That's 20% of your purse. 20% of your annual money right there gone. So go ahead, man. Pay them their money. Pay them their 400K. You got $1.6 million left to go with. Now, what you should be doing, because this was earned income. This is earned income, which is the EI. Bear with me on this, guys, because this is going to be for my kids too. I believe my kids are going to go to the NFL, the major leagues. My buddies that had contracts, whether it was with the UFC, some of them fought, stayed their contract, and then got out and was stuck, didn't have any more money and had to go back to work. That's crazy. But because not a lot of these guys have been taught how the wealthy play the business game with their earned income. So basically what you want to do is you want to take your earned income and you want to reinvest that money back into either yourself as a business, or you want to put it into real estate, right? So let's say you can take this 1.6 million, you'd probably get your 1.6 million would probably be worth 3 times that. So let's say, and I want to do this because I want you guys to get this, Matt. I want you guys to understand why I'm doing it the way that I'm doing it. So 1.6 million. If you were to take all of your 1.6 million, you're not going to be able to do that, but as much of it as you can, that 1.6 million will be worth about $4.8 million in a piece of real estate. That's what it would be worth, right? 4.8 million in the type of real estate that we're looking at investing in, right? That would be your position in the deal. And that 1.6 million per year would kick out, let's just say about 5% a year. You'd make about $80,000 in cash flow, roughly, right? This $80,000 in cash flow, because it's in a real estate deal, we're talking real estate here, business level real estate, stuff that we do at Bell Capital. This would come to you because you would also get the tax write-offs, right? Which is bonus depreciation or accelerated depreciation. So the majority of this would be kicked over. So you would actually almost pay no taxes, and you got to get with your tax accountant and your managers and all these people will trust me. They'll be like, oh, wow, I get what that guy's saying. That actually is right. You would almost pay zero taxes on this because it'll be like a bonus depreciation that you get to do the tax write-offs on the cash flow that you get. That would be cash flow. And you would get that because let's say you don't spend all of the depreciation that you would get from the properties kicked over for taxes, you would get to carry that over. Let's say you did that in 2024, 2025, 2026. So every year that you were making this 2 million bucks and you went on and paid your agents, and every year you went off and you reinvested the majority of what you had left over, that let's say 1.6 into another real estate deal. Now, this would continue to do that, right? So let's say you did this for the 5 years, $4.8 million. Your the $4.8 million position you had in real estate, your 1.6 is now worth 4.8, right? So 4.8 million times, let's say you did it for 5 years straight. You'd be worth $24 million if you were to do this for 5 years. 24 million. Now, that said, it doesn't take away anything. You're still grinding it out, but you're living off of $80,000 a year. Now, that's going to grow because every time you take this money, put it in here, your 80,000 is going to grow by 160. And then the next time it's going to grow by 240,000. Like, it's going to continue to compound, but again, you're not going to be paying taxes on this. And this money's going to continue to grow too, right? Because you're positioned in here. So in 5 years, you'll be worth $24 million in real assets kicking out 400,000 a year. Man, that's better than what would have happened if you had gave away all of your money, had nothing left for your contract, and every year you operate in fear. I hope I don't get hurt. I hope nothing happens to me. I hope my kids don't get sick, or I can't miss a fight, or I miss a contract, or my ankle's broken, I'm out. Like if you're an NFL player, you're only really getting about 18 weeks of pay. And that's it. And then it stops, right? And while the game is happening. If you're a baseball player, you have a little bit better timeline because you have more games. Same thing for basketball. So like aside from just, oh man, I got a contract, you worked your ass off to get there. And naturally, this could have been 22 million, it could have been 20 million. It doesn't matter. The things are still going to be the same. Right? Let's say you're a big shot. Let's say you're an NFL player or NBA player. Let's say you got a $30 million contract. You got a $30 million contract. 20% of that, 6 mil, is going to go to your agents and your managers right off the bat. Let's say 50% of that, 50% of that, 15 million, is going to go to taxes if you don't do this. It's going to taxes. This is what you got to play with. That's all. So you figure what's left from here, what's that? 15, you're down to what, 9 million? You got $9 million to play with. Let's say, and again, you're a big shot, you're an NFL player. Let's say you play for the Chargers, or let's say you play for the Rams, whatever, it doesn't matter. Right. But let's say that's where you are in your scenario with your contract as it relates to you being an NFL player or NBA player or NBA. This is what you got to work with. That $9 million is what's left. And if you're a big shot, you're going to be somewhere for a long time. Let's say you dart off to go buy a house, and some guru that you listen to online says, hey, buy a house and buy it all cash. You don't need any debt because you're an NFL player, whatever the case may be. Boom. You get a great house, man. That's $9 million. In California, that's not even a big deal, right? You're going to buy something over there in LA or something like that to be close to the camp, to get your wife and kids taken care of, and you spend half of that. Dude, you're already done. You're broke. Now, if you take the same $9 million that you got, again, this is earned income. This is earned income. The goal is never spend your earned income. Invest your earned income. So with that $9 million, let's say you were to invest that. That $9 million would be worth, let's just say it's worth $27 million. Invested in a deal, right? Because that's what that will be worth. When you invest your money into a real estate deal, your $1 buys $3 with leverage, good leverage in a multifamily deal. That's income producing and it's making money. All right. So that $9 million will kick off, let's just say about 450,000, right? $450,000. Yeah, is that right? Yeah, I think so. I'm gonna have somebody checking my math tonight because this was on my mind to do. Nine. I know I'm right. Yeah, 9 million at 5%. So if you got a deal that's kicking out at least 5%, you should be kicking out. You should be getting about $450,000 a year off of your. That's cash flow. This is cash flow from an investment of $9 million that normally would have got blown, and that $9 million bought you a $27 million position. So you are now worth $27 million, almost the value of this contract that you got for that year. So let's say, for example, after that you land an endorsement contract. Let's say you got something from, I don't know, Nike. Nike hit you up and they were like, hey, we'll do this, or Miller Lite or somebody crazy, and they gave you another 10 mil, $10 million endorsement. Endorsed. Boom. Now, the same thing has to happen. Your agents are going to get another, what, 20% of that. $2 million is gone right off the bat. And typically, you would have to pay taxes on this money. But what I would suggest is, so now, like I said, you're down to what, $8 million out of this. This is the money right here. You can reinvest this whole thing as well, right? So let's say you invested this. This is now worth three times, right? Because you're going to do we're talking about multiplying your money. You got to get great at multiplying your money. And I know I'm going fast with this, but I want you guys to really get this. This is additional. This is right now is an endorsement deal. Maybe it's like we said, it could be Nike, it could be some Bud Light thing or Miller Lite, whatever it is that people want to endorse you because you got really good at what you did. You take this same thing, now you're at another what? $24 million based on this. This is the position that you took in another real estate deal. Same thing, at $8 million kicking off 5%. You got another $400K coming in from your cash flow. This right here, you know what I'm saying, you get to for the tax purposes, right? Because you get bonus tax depreciation, cost segregation, all this other stuff. So you may not even have to pay any taxes on the cash flow that you got per year. Now you're doubling up on everything that you're doing. So if you decide to not continue on, or they decide to not continue on with you on a contract, you've actually taken the time and you've used the capital that you've made, that you worked so hard for, playing sports, broken disc, concussions, broken wrists, sprained hamstrings and calves, all those other things that is taken for you to get to where you are today. And you didn't just waste it because you weren't thinking ahead. You went off and bought your mom and your daddy a house because they looked out for you. They picked you up. They dropped you off at all these practices. They sacrificed so you can be where you are. Yes, I'm not saying to not do those things, but do it from this stuff. Don't do it from up here, these endorsements and these big contracts you're getting. Because again, that's earned income, right? Everybody's going to try to eat off of that. And it's a lot easier to tell your family and friends that haven't really been there for you, that got their hand out once you get a contract signed. All of a sudden, everybody remembers who you are. You be like, man, I don't have any money. All the money I got has went into my investments, and that's where I'm at. And you keep doing this. Let's say you did this for 5 years, man. You're on top of things. 5 times 27 million, which is what the worth would be on that one. You got what? 27 million. Let's say you did that for 5 years straight. Now you'd have over $135 million. You'd have $135 million. That would be your net worth. Boom. Because the amount of assets that you've accumulated, the position in those assets that you would accumulated, because your money's not gone. Your money's just in these assets that are illiquid, and that's the position you have. $135 million net worth on that one, just from that one alone. And you're kicking out $450,000 a year in cash flow, like we talked about. And then on this one, pretty similar. On this one, you'd be at 24 million times 5 years. Let's say that same contract, you bet 120 million, $120 million from doing this. Let's say you did these was the other one, because they're combined. 120 and 120, 135 plus 135. You have $255 million. $255 million net worth from just these two things that I said, right? That's almost $250 million net worth investing in multifamily quality real estate, taking the contracts that you had, maybe an endorsement contract that you work for while you're working your ass off. No one can take that from you. And then if you decide to bow out gracefully out of the NFL, out of the NBA, out of the NBL, like major leagues, you can go. No one will question you. You'll be like, look, I'm good. Then after that, somebody may pick you up. But the whole part is you're not leaving the league battered, bruised, with screws in your knee, concussion, slurred speech, forgetting where you are, brain fog when you go get water in the middle of the night. Like those 78% of professional athletes, 2 years, 2 to 3 years after they retire, which is they have a short career, about 5 years, because you can't get beat up over and over and over again for a really long time. And those guys that do, you see them leave their careers and they don't really have much left, man. You might not ever get the opportunity to sit, and be like Joe Rogan and get paid, or Daniel and any of those guys, or Tom Brady and become like some caster that gets $10 million or whatever it is that they get paid. It may not be you. Maybe you're not as eloquent or funny, whatever that is. Maybe your whole skill was that. But everyone can do this. The wealthy do this. This is how they pay no taxes. They pay their agents, and then they reinvest all of that money back into investments that continue to multiply and continue to pay them, and they live off the cash flow, but they put it in an asset that they can use the tax benefits to write off even the money that they made. So it looks like they don't make anything. So they're not broke. They're broke on paper, but they're worth hundreds of millions, if not billions of dollars. And you can do it too, I can tell you. Man, this is important, way more important than you may think. So look, if you're an NFL player, if you're an NBA player, if you're in the major leagues, you're a baseball player, if you're a big shot, whether you're making $2 million or you're making $30 million in your contract, take the time. Take a look at what you're doing, man. You need to do this strategy. We're here to help you. If you want to work with us, great. Bell Capital is here to help you. Cashflow, that's why we're here. We're looking for guys like you. If you need a place to push your money, if you want to talk to me, talk to my team specifically, talk to your tax accountant, talk to your agents, talk to your managers. Show them this video. Ask them, hey, is this real? If I put this amount of money, if I paid my agents and my managers and we reinvested into my career, my body, we reinvested into some other investment opportunities, and we're able to shelter that money through tax benefits and tax write-offs and things like that can get kicked out from those investors. Is that real? They'll be like, yeah, that's real. Here's how it will work for you, and here's what you need to do. They will tell you exactly what I'm saying. This isn't new. This isn't rocket science. This has been going on for hundreds of years. The wealthy have been doing this. You just get the opportunity to do it as an athlete. Not everybody was taught this. If you're a regular guy that worked your way up the chain and you're now a big shot player, you need to work on your money, multiply your money. That's the real game. The real game is multiplying your money and bowing out and or helping somebody else that's in any league that you're in right now financially, so they can make it and so they can take care of you and your family for the rest of their lives and not have somebody need to take care of you in the future. All right. So I hope this helps you guys. I know this was a lot. Don't get confused. If you have questions, go to bell-capital.com or schedule a call with somebody somebody on my team, myself, or somebody on my team will help you. Even if you just have questions, man, stick with me. If you have questions or a comment, leave them in the comments here. Like this video, share this video, subscribe to our channel. Show this to more athletes, man. They need it. NFL players, NBA players, NBL players, UFC fighters, MMA fighters. It doesn't matter which league you're in. It doesn't need to be UFC. It could be any MMA fighter, whether you're in Bellator, whether you're in the PLF, whether you're in one championship, all of you guys out there that are out there risking it, fighters, athletes, artists, hedge fund guys, big money people, whatever. Like if you're out there as an athlete though, and you're risking your life and limb to entertain people as an employee of your league, you owe it to yourself and your family to reinvest your money that you make, so that way you leave with something when you go on your own accord. You walk out on your own 2 feet. All right. I appreciate you guys. Looking forward to talking to you. Let me know if you guys need anything. Let's get after it.